Hey everyone, this is Wyduck, and this time I've got a set of replays. Best of 3, starting with Game 1, spawning here on Echo Isles, and spawning in the top left position. As the yellow undead, we have Wan. And his opponent spawning in the top right as the red orc. You've got Still. So Orc versus Undead on Echo Isles. Echo Isles is a small map, and generally as an Orc player, I mean 99% of the time it seems to be Blade Master is going to be popping out first. And as an Undead player, it can be very annoying because the Undead heroes really need to creep to be effective. They need to level up and they, to be really effective, especially in the mid to late game. And the Beastmaster is such a good solo hero that I think that Still will be employing some sort of harassment strategy against our undead player, Wan. But we'll have to see. I mean, things could change. Yes, we are going to be getting a Blade Master coming out of that altar. Now, we do have the crypt up first, obviously, to get some ghouls out. And that altar is going to be slightly behind that Orc player. As well as the Tomb of Relics in the back. So by the time this Blade Master comes out, should be able to get to the Wan's base by the time the Death Knight is out. I'm just speculating that Death Knight will be the first hero chosen by Wan. Now the Altar of Darkness is waiting for that Ziggurat to give enough supply. And yes, it will be the Death Knight that will be coming out for Wan. As that Blade Master is almost finished. And once it finishes, it will be very, very fun to see exactly where this Blade Master will be going. I think he's going to be going over to the undead side of the map and cause some harassment. Or he could just windwalk and kill the creeps for those items. And maybe that's exactly what he wants to do here. He's hanging around this small creep camp. Yes, he's going to be picking off this Ogre Warrior. So it looks like the Beastmaster will be creeping at least for the beginning. And yes, the Gloves of Haste, a very powerful item for the Blade Master. He's going to be able to do significantly a lot more damage with the Gloves of Haste. So I don't think Still could have asked for a much better item. And he is going to be windwalking all the way over. Now, he can target the marketplace and try to get the item. It can be a powerful item here if he's able to kill the Ogre Magi in the back. So it looks like Wan will be able to creep, at least for the time being. While Still will be working on this Ogre Magi. And this is one of the, really strong things about this hero. Other heroes are not able to do this. The Blade Master is just so strong, has so much armor, basically giving it a lot more life. And is able to windwalk past units as well. So if he gets trapped, he can just walk past them. And no other hero can really do that in the early games. So the Blade Master will be able to scoot away. He has 2 Gloves of Haste. So this is very, very dangerous because that means this Blade Master can really tear a lot of damage into enemy units. And I think that's exactly what's going to be happening in the near future. The Troll Berserker is being targeted. At the same time, it looks like Wan is going to be moving to that marketplace and targeting down this creep. Now remember, one of the items is already taken away by Still. So that's not going to be very effective for him to creep that out, but getting experience is always good. And it looks like the Blade Master will be able to chop down this Ogre Mauler as well. He's deep in the red as well as that Grunt, so they have to be very careful. Down to 39 life. He has to pull that Blade Master away. If not, he's down to 8 life. One more hit and that Blade Master will go down. But he is going to be able to skedaddle, at least for the time being. That Skeletal Warrior could have disrupted the healing, and yes, it does. Able to spot that Blade Master, so that Blade Master is in the red. He should be getting out of here. It's very dangerous to wait here. And it looks like that Ogre Warrior will go down, but he's got to skedaddle out of there. A Death Coil could really do a lot of damage. The Blade Master is down to 92 life, and it looks like the 2 Grunts and the Blade Master will be running away for the time being while dealing with an illusion. But the illusion will be dissipated very quickly. Looks like Wan will be upgrading to the Halls of the Dead, and a Stronghold will be coming up for Still in just a few moments. So both players will be getting a secondary hero, I speculate, in the very near future. Now, generally, as an Orc player, you can get the Tauren Chieftain, or you could get the Shaman. So it's really up to you what you want to do. It depends if you want to heal or if you want to use that endurance aura. As an undead player, generally I do see a lot more liches, as Frost Armor and Frost Nova are very powerful, especially to slow down the Blade Master and the attack speed. As both players are going to be creeping out their expansion. And the Blade Master is going to be moving across that. Already at level 3 with 2 Gloves of Haste, like I mentioned before. He is moving around looking to see if there's anything to harass. As the Blade Master is very effective at stealing creeps and getting the items. And it looks like he will be dancing around the undead base. Not able to see very much, and he won't be able to get in there as the ziggurat placement is perfect. The Blade Master does not have enough room to get in there, and so he is going to have to flee back to base. While Wan is going to be creeping out this small green creep camp, so we'll go down very quickly here. Not a lot of experience, but I mean, experience is experience, so why not? And this is what I'm talking about. The Blade Master is moving in here, but Wan is very intelligently harassing the creep and then moving it closer to his undead and blighted land, so he can regenerate on the blighted land a lot quicker. But it doesn't look like he'll be doing that. He will just fight in between, just pulling half the creeps out. I mean, that helps as well. You don't want to fight the entire creep if you can settle for half. At the same time, the illusioned Blade Master is coming in here and doing some annoyance, but not very much overall, as I think Wan has figured out it is an illusion. It doesn't do any damage. But the careful thing you have to take notice of is whether or not that Renegade Wizard will drop that item, and whether or not you're going to be able to pick it up in time, or is that Blade Master going to be able to pick it up. Ah, no Creep Jack, able to Death Coil the Renegade Wizard, so the Blade Master is going to escape empty-handed. He's going to come in here with another illusion, being very annoying, but obviously that it is illusion, as the graveyard hasn't taken any damage, and it will be dispelled very quickly. At the same time, we do have a Shadow Hunter out, and that's going to be able to provide a lot of healing waves to the army, especially to that Blade Master, so I think this is a wise second choice. It's a little less offensive than the Tauren Chieftain, but it is a lot safer to keep your Blade Master around. Now it looks like the Blade Master is going to be hopping around, able to steal a Circlet of Nobility, it looks like, from the creep. So not a bad idea by Still, able to steal one Circlet. And though it's not a great item, the Death Knight, I mean, could have used that item, as he is not full of items as of yet. And at the same time, it looks like Blade Master will be creeping out this creep camp by himself, able to get a Tome of Knowledge. Not a bad item. +1 to all attributes. And this is the strength of the Blade Master, just able to creep out everything by himself. No other hero is able to do it at the efficiency that he is able to. At the same time, he has to be careful here, as the Death Knight is in range, and a Wind Walk is going to send the Blade Master back home safely. At the same time, the Shadow Hunter is almost at level 3, and should get the level 3 off these creeps. Just one more kill. Yes, he will get the level 3, so now we should see level 2 Healing Wave, or possibly Hex, as Still is going to be upgrading to a Fortress. Black Citadel has already been upgraded for Wan, so he can get a third hero if he wishes, as the Lich is going to be creeping out this Gargantuan Sea Turtle. Now he has to be careful here, as the Gargantuan Sea Turtle does do chaos damage, so it does do full damage to heroes, not like a lot of magic and piercing attacks. But it looks like the Skeleton Warriors will be tanking. I think that is a wise move, as the Death Knight waits behind, as to not get too much experience from that encounter. Now, neither player has expanded yet, but that option is available to both players. But it looks like Still is just having too much fun walking around with that Blade Master, trying to get in here. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to. He's chopping down on this constructing Ziggurat, and the Black Citadel is firing on the Blade Master, but the Ziggurat is going to be canceled. At the same time, he is going to be running away with Windwalk, as that attack is no longer useful. Looks like Frost Nova is going to go down, as well as a Death Coil. That Blade Master is almost dead. Down to 173, he will survive. At the same time, the Shadow Hunter is going to creep out the bottom right Gargantuan Sea Turtle creep. Grunts are taking a brunt of that damage, and that Blade Master is going to have to heal up here. Otherwise, he will go down very quickly. And that's the strength of Frost Nova and Death Coil. A lot of direct damage spells can do significant damage in a short amount of time. So that Blade Master has to be basically at near full life. Otherwise, that Blade Master can go down very quickly. So most of the creeps have been creeped out. There's just a couple green creeps left at the north and the south, as well as that Gargantuan Sea Turtle creep is not entirely creeped out. But basically, there's no more creeps left, and there's no expansions. So we should be seeing some sort of engagement somewhere. So one player is going to move into the other, I think, in the very near future. If we take a look at the supplies, we do have 50 over 50 for Still, and 53 over 60 for Wan. So Wan is not getting as much gold as Still, and he only has a slight army advantage, so I don't think that's really worth it. But very strange third hero choice by Wan. He's chosen the Alchemist. It's very interesting. Can be really good or really poor depending on what's going on. It looks like the Blade Master will be able to chop down on these ghouls. With that Orb of Lighting, one ghoul does go down very quickly. The second ghoul is going to go down as well. I don't think this ghoul is going to be able to survive. And it looks like Still has been able to get 2 free kills, but at the same time, this is going to give an opportunity for Wan to push forward into the Orc base, as that Blade Master is out of position. And Wan is going to push Still out of his base, as a scroll speed has been used for the Shadow Hunter to escape. But it looks like Wan is now in the middle of Still's base, chopping away at peons. Now remember, these burrows are fortified, so they will take a lot less damage than normally, and the Fiends are in the middle of all the action, focusing down on the peons as well as the Orc burrows, but you have to be very careful here. You don't want to get caught in the base, as the snare does go down on the Obsidian Statue, and it looks like the Obsidian Statue is going to get chopped away at by this Blade Master. Obsidian Statue is going to go down. 116 critical hit is going to fell it. And it looks like this Kodo Beast should be able to chomp down on one Fiend as well, and the Kodo Beast is going to move back. Blade Master gets up to level 4. A Healing Wave is placed down. This Alchemist is almost dead at less than 200 life. A Scroll of Town Portal is going to be used, and Wan is going to have to retreat, and that Lich is going to go down before that Scroll of Town Portal is activated, so that Blade Master just doing so much damage, able to kill the level 2 Lich, and not really losing a lot of forces himself, so I really believe Still is quite a bit ahead. His supply is 48 over 50. 46 over 70 for Wan. Now, the game isn't entirely lost, but he did lose the first hero, and he also lost a Scroll of Town Portal. And those items are quite expensive, as well as the hero. And there's actually still the Fiend digesting in the stomach of that lone Kodo Beast. So this is interesting, as that Kodo Beast is going to be up to full life. At the same time, Still is going to place down a mini Great Hall, and that's going to be a very fast expansion for the Orc player, as generally the weakness for players is to get that expansion. It's quite difficult because it takes a long time to construct, but Still is going to place that mini Great Hall, and he's going to be able to get that expansion out. So I really think Still is in a great position, while Wan is still on one base. He still has about 6,000 gold in his initial gold mine, but with his opponent starting to mine from 2, he's going to fall behind very quickly here, as his army is healing up. Now, in regards to the upgrades, Wan does have the advantage. He actually has +2 piercing attacks for his Crypt Fiends. And generally, you don't see that many upgrades in games like this. So that added damage should help quite a bit, as Fiends are quite versatile. Now, the Tri-Hero Force, this is still a strange sight. I'm not sure why I'm seeing an Alchemist, is going to be moving across the map. The Blade Master is at the south portion of the map at that Goblin Merchant. And he is going to be windwalking around, able to spot the position of Wan's army, and he is going to be retreating back for the time being. And it looks like he may go and reinforce this position, as the Mercenary Camp has been utilized by Still, picking up an Ogre Mauler and a Forest Troll Berserker. Not the best units, but I mean, they are instant. And at the same time, we do have a Watchtower here protecting this expansion. And this is interesting, as the Blade Master is sitting at the left side. This can create a flanking opportunity, and that Obsidian Statue is going to be targeted down. It is going to turn into a Destroyer immediately. Frost Nova does go down, catching a lot of units, but ensnares have been placed on those Destroyers. They're not really being targeted down, as the Ogre Maulers are working down on the first Destroyer that has been ensnared. That first Destroyer will go down. The Shadow Hunter does get up to level 4 off that kill. The Kodo Beast is going to be destroyed. a Death Coil healing up that Crypt Fiend, but that Blade Master is just chopping away at it, doing a lot of damage. A Potion of Invulnerability is going to be used. The Crypt Fiend is going to be destroyed, as well as the second Destroyer. And remember, this Blade Master does have the ability to attack air units right now, and he's going to focus down on that last Destroyer. The Destroyer is going to pop. The Death Knight is in the middle of this confrontation here, but 2 critical strikes in a row is going to push this Death Knight back, as well as the Blade Master. Blade Master has been killed, actually. So very good pickup by Wan, and now Still is reeling as his army has been depleted by quite a bit, but most importantly, the Blade Master did go down, and that's like 3 or 4 units. So a great move by Wan, and he's still got 3 heroes. As the Lich is at level 3, it looks like we do have the healing spray, and that's going to heal up the Death Knight a little bit, but the Blade Master has been recalled from that tavern. Now, when you do get the hero from the tavern, the hero doesn't have any energy, so that Blade Master is not going to be able to windwalk for some time, but it looks like the Blade Master is going forward anyways. The Death Knight is almost at full life. It is still ensnared, but the Blade Master is moving back as half his life has been depleted instantly by Death Coils and Frost Novas. But it looks like Still is moving across and still trying to deal damage to that Death Knight. Death Knight will move back and finally come back into the battle. The Fiends are taking a lot of the damage. 2 Fiends have been burrowed. That Lich is ensnared and is now completely encircled by Grunts and that Blade Master. That Lich is not going to fall as another Death Coil is placed on the Lich. Finally, the Lich will fall as a 162 damage critical strike is going to end the Lich's life. And it looks like this may spell the end of Wan, as all he has is basically an Alchemist and a Death Knight, and he is going to tap out. So Still is going to take game 1 of this best of 3. Very interesting. You know, I thought that when Still lost that Blade Master, that Wan was in a strong position. But just going to that tavern and getting that Blade Master immediately and healing it with that healing wave really put that Blade Master back in action. So we're going to have to head over to game 2 to see if Still can win the series outright, or if Wan can force it aside in game 3.